Yo, welcome back to, not welcome back, welcome to Squid Junction 39. I'm Asex, joined here by Imad. And we're headed straight on into this first match here. Imad, how you doing?
I am doing alright. I have been spending the good chunk of my time just getting some eggs and fishing up some fish.
Yup, always nice to just do a tournament during that big run. Hopefully there's no maps that are being played on a lot of Art Academy right now, because that might be a bit of an issue.
Just an extra bit of challenge for our competitors tonight. No worries. But it's nice to be able to take a break to get into these matches.
Yes, we are going to be headed into this first match, which I believe is Zone's Flounder. Very interesting map mode.
Ooh, indeed. I've been seeing some of the new charger being used on this map with the splash wall and the Trizuka. It's got a good decent range. It can actually reach across that gap there. So having the Tri-Strike on hand is certainly going to be helpful in zones. We also have up the Hagglefish and the Tar Control next, finalized by Clams on Scorched Gorge, but we're getting into the zones match. Ooh, seen Explo, a nice choice for zones, able to paint a lot, and there's the new charger I was talking about, as well as the Stamper and the new NZAP.
Yeah, that ZF charger can be... I think it's going to be really, really strong. I do think it's fairly interesting that neither team has a splash here.
Indeed, we do see the Neo Splash on the side of Summer Nights.
Yes. But the lack of a V splash. I guess we'll see if this is just if the meta has actually changed, or if both of these teams are just running kind of off meta. I'm actually really curious to see how things have changed.
Indeed.
Ooh.
With the introduction of the new weapons, we are going to be seeing a lot of teams are just trying out because this patch happened this past week, so still feeling things out. But we see that Summer Nights, as we see, rocking the two new weapons, is in the lead for the time being and doing an excellent job of just controlling the zone. Calamity Forge is trying to get a way back in, but so far has been unsuccessful.
Yeah, but we do see that big bubble coming out, and potentially Tacticooler as well here. Very shortly. We're seeing the new Tri-Slasher as well. We're seeing a lot of new weapons here. We're seeing Super Chumps being a thing that people are playing. ZF, Neo Splash, Neo Tri. Very, very fun. Lots of variety going on. And we do see that the Zap is almost at their Super Chump, so we'll have to see how they use it. Ooh, but they do get taken out. And it is just the Stamper left on Summer Nights to try and contest this here. They're trying to...
down low.
Yeah, they're trying to make their presence, their location kind of unknown here. Just trying to make Calamity Forge sweat a little bit. Holding on to this Zipcaster. Ooh, and here we see them fighting that splatter shot, but it doesn't quite happen. They don't quite get that kill. And that's going to set their team back a fair amount.
It is unfortunate if you whiff your shot in the face of a shooter, they are going to be able to recover quickly and just really take it down. And so Calamity Forge is taking the lead off of that. Well, we do see the Tri-Strike coming in from Summer Nights, taking down the Junior, one of the main painters, as well as the Splatter Shot. So now they have an opportunity to at least cap their side of the zone.
Yeah, and we also saw that Super Chump coming out. Ooh, Summer Nights has capped one of the zones, but they're still two down. They need to cap both of the zones here, or else they are going to be in a very, very bad situation. With barely even 20 seconds left to cap the zone, they're not in a very good spot here. They need to try and stall that out and get it into neutral. And time is ticking. That Tacticooler coming out from the Tri-Slasher is going to be very useful here for Calamity Forge to try and stop their push here. But we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, they weren't prepared for that try to come up from underneath, taking down several members of their team, and that basically set them back by quite a bit. They are now fighting for the zone because it's down to the 15 and just trying to stall it out. The Tri-Strike with the Super Chump is going to cap the zone as well as take down two members of Calamity Forge. That's going to set them up rather nicely, getting that charger up on top. So now they're going to be able to chew through the penalty and start into their way towards that lead again.
Yeah, and we did see on the map that someone is trying to climb that wall versus the charger to try and get the jump on a couple of the team members, but isn't really working. Like they didn't really take advantage of that. And Summer Nights is really, I think they're kind of misplaying here. I think they're not moving forward enough in front of the zone. They're all kind of hanging out inside of it, which is not a very good way to hold it, especially not on this map. You really want to be ahead of the zone here and try and lock them out from a bit further up. And you can see that they did lose control of the zone, but they have, it's still in neutral for pretty much both of the zones here, and they are going to manage to cap it and try and clutch that out.
Yeah, if you're going to be picking a fight over the zone, it's going to stall out the timer, but that is going to be 3 down on Calamity Forge, and they haven't been able to cap the zone, so there is no penalty for Summer Nights, and they're only 15 away from taking that lead right back as we get into this last minute. The Charger does have Tri-Strike on hand, ready to defend against whatever's onslaught they have coming out, and they are going to pop it here just to keep them from getting that wall, and a nice pick with it as well. They are so close to getting this KO.
Yeah, this is a huge pressure situation, but it does look like that Calamity Forge has managed to take Summer Nights out and cap the zone. It's anyone's game right now. They have to hold a lot of points, but the zone's timer ticks down much, much faster than you may think. Summer Nights is trying to contest zone by painting it up, trying to just stall for time, but I don't think that's what they should be trying to play for right now. They need to play for a dominant, big, explosive event of control. They need to play for those picks. If they can't get 2-3 down here, they're going to be in a very bad situation. And here we can see that Summer Nights has gone 2 down, and Calamity Forge is 4 against them. If this Stamper can clutch out, then it might be something that they can change, but no. It's very awkward for Summer Nights at this point in time. They're trying to cap the zone, and they're just trying to contest it with paint, but they have gone 1 down, but Calamity Forge has gone 2 down in the process. If they can just hold this zone, then they're going to be in a very good spot, but that big bubbler is going to put a wrench into things. Summer Nights has gone 2 down, Calamity Forge is also 2 down. It's going to be a paint battle to the death. It's just the Charger left on Summer Nights. A Tri-Strike is going to come out trying to stall the zone here. It's 9-8, they have to hold this, and if they lose this zone, they lose the game here. Halfway to overtime, they have to hold this zone for a couple extra seconds here. If they can hold this, this will be a massive clutch. It has gotten capped for just a split second. Overtime is being stalled out. It is a massive painting battle. It's anyone's game here. If they can hold the zone, it's not gonna happen though. They managed to lose the zone after holding it for an infuriating amount of time. That was insane.
We saw several members of Summer Nights. They were going in, they were rushing in, just trying to keep it alive. They had to contest the junior, not only with his paint, but his bubbler just sitting down in their mid. We saw one of the members end up just giving up on the left zone and trying to flank around to cap the right one. But Calamity Forge was too quick to respond, and in the end, they were able to cap it again for those last couple of points that they needed.
Man, it is too early in the tournament for that. That was such a... That was one of the closest endings of a Zones game I've ever seen.
They certainly extended that overtime for about as long as it possibly could. Like, I'm immensely shocked that it didn't run out.
Yeah, that was insane. But we are headed into Hagglefish TC right now. I think this is a very good map mode. I can't remember, did this map mode get changed in the new update?
I think it did for zones, but not for tower control, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of new obstacles in the middle, but they are not present because the tower resides there.
Yeah, I have a... Yeah, no, it is just zones and clams that got changed on this map. So we aren't seeing any of the weird new cover they're adding, which I think is just really funny. That cover is... It's really funny. You can really tell what kind of angles they're trying to cover from it. And I'm really curious to see how the maps play, how anything changes.
Indeed. Hopefully we do get like a zones or a clan blitz on some of these maps that they changed later on, so we can see them in action. But for the time being, we're going to have to settle with a good old Hagglefish market as we know it. Tower control, it is a snowballing mode if one of these teams can take away with it, but it also is one that can be just as much of a nail biter if it gets cut down to the wire like we did in the last match.
Yeah, I mean, any mode in this game can be nail biters. This game, it's sometimes like that. You get those clutch moments in really any game. Very fun to watch.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we did see an exploit in that last match. It's pretty standard for his zones, but I am curious to see if they decide to swap off the backline or swap to another backline. Because we have seen a charger in their opposing team, so I would not be surprised if we saw a return of a charger. And of course, we saw several of the other new weapons as well.
Yeah, oh, that's really interesting. We are seeing an E-Leader. So I think this is really going to highlight the E-Leader versus ZF matchup, because I think it's a really interesting matchup with a lot of depth to it.
Yes, while E-Leader does have the longer range, we have that splash wall on the side of the Splat Charger to basically counter it. And of course, the Tri-Strike is extremely strong, especially in the end game for tower control.
And here we see a Crab Tank coming out on tower, but they immediately get pummeled with 3 Tri-Strikes, and they're forced to drop off of it. And we are going to see... We're going to have to see if Calamity Forge can take advantage of that. But no, it does look like that. Summer Knights is still going to manage to get a decent advantage here.
Now, I know a lot of people are concerned about the new Neo Splash, but it's nice to see that we're still seeing quite a few Tenatechs in the mix with the Splat Bomb and still the Tri-Strike. I think just the 3-shot kill in the regular Splat Bomb really just make it a different class of weapon. It's got its own perks that are still viable in this meta. When we see Summer Knights, they are shooting through that first penalty already.
Yeah, you can see that they're already at the second checkpoint. But Calamity Forge is managing to take a very dominant defense, using that Wavebreaker to kind of get themselves enough control to take that area back. And we do see the splash going down on Summer Knights' side. So that's going to make things a little bit easier for Calamity Forge to really just take mid back here. And you can see that Summer Knights is managing to get pushed back without them having to fight them, which is not something you want to do in this game a lot. You really want to hold your ground a lot more than you think you would. Just because space can be so hard to come by. And I think you're really forced to fight in this game a lot, which I think can be really fun.
Absolutely. We did see the use of the the Zipcaster trying to take out the Charger, but I'm not sure if they're successful. Calamity Forge is now on the warpath trying to get to their own first checkpoint, but they go 2 down to the Tri-Strike. We have just a Tenatech trying to get a Tri-Strike out themselves, but they are taken down, and that's going to be 3 down on Calamity Forge, effectively ending that push.
Yeah, and you can see they do have a lot of advantage here. I think it's really interesting that their comp has double Tri-Strike, and they may have run triple Tri-Strike on the first match, but I'm not sure. They had a Neo Splash in there, but I'm not sure if they had that Splatter Shot in there as well. But we do see that Crab Tank coming out from them. That's going to make things a little easier for them. Just going to let them kind of force their way in with that control, and you can see the Splash is trying to head out. We do see someone jumping to them, though, which is a very bold jump, I will say. That it doesn't manage to work out, though. It was a Stamper, so you can tell that they were trying to potentially get a slide kill on that jump, but it just didn't quite happen. You can see the Tri-Strike coming out from the T-Tech on Calamity Forge's side, as well as a Wavebreaker, countered by a Tri-Strike of Summer Knights' own. And that's going to lead to Calamity Forge going 2 down, but not before Summer Knights goes 1 down on their side as well.
Yeah, Calamity Forge, they're rocking the E-Leader and the T-Tech, so they only have the 1 Tri-Strike, but they have the Sloshing Machine to make up for that with that Booyah Bomb. They hope that is a strong weapon for tower control, but there's going to be another 2 down on Calamity Forge. They had a nice snipe by the E-Leader, though, able to keep them from touching that checkpoint for too long, and it's just kind of been able to stall out the push as they get to the second checkpoint, but not been able to really make a return off of it.
Yeah, we're going to see if this team can... They just got a massive advantage. We're going to see if they can play off of it quickly. I do think they are taking a very forward position, which I think is definitely good for them right now. They managed to get really far forward off of that 1 wipe. And here we see the Booyah Bomb coming out from the machine, going to try to set up their G-Tech to get in there, but they don't quite capitalize off of it, and here comes the Crab Tank. Going to make things a little bit trickier for Summer Knights, or for Calamity Forge, but the Crab Tank does actually get taken out right away. The big bubble comes out on the tower just to try and sell out that checkpoint. The Blaster really playing around the cover that they can use to just really get kills for free. If you can position well with Blaster, those kills just come so easily. It's a very position-based weapon, as opposed to aim-based, though those directs do have some incentive to actually aim at them. But we can see that Summer Knights...
Scary to be having to go against on this map, and we see Calamity Forge taking that nice lead already on the 3rd checkpoint. The Tri-Strike to hold it on for a little bit longer, and just 5 points away from that checkpoint. The KO is going to be theirs with the Bubbler to finish it off.
Yeah, that was a very good push from Calamity Forge. They managed to take that one wipeout they got and turn it into a KO, which is just a sign of a really good team. I do think Summer Nights wasn't playing that bad either, though. I think it was a fairly even match overall, especially that first game where it came down to that 1 point. I just think that Calamity Forge had a better time at actually moving forwards and taking space. They were very confident with their just with their ability to move forward and take those fights, which worked out in their favor.
Indeed, it wasn't looking too good for them for the first half of that match. It was hard to get a push going, but that is the beauty of tower control. Is like you do have all of the 5 minutes to start slowly making your push if you're able to keep the opponents from getting too far in. And as you said before, just that nice wipeout was just the leverage that they needed to really get that ball rolling.
Yeah, all it took was one wipe. But I do think we are going to be going on a short break while we go to the second set. So don't go anywhere because we are going to be right back.
Splatoon Stronghold. A stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you're a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and request recordings of scrims as well as participate in our captain forums and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today.